wabarakatuh. Good morning, my students. Do you miss your class? I'll wait you here. I hope all of you, as soon as possible, we will study at normal condition. Amin ya robbal alamin. Okay. How are you today? I hope all of you always be healthy. Don't forget to have balanced diet and then exercise regularly, getting enough rest, so your body still be healthy. Okay. For today, teacher will continue to study unit 4 about how do man activities affect the environment and natural resources. So unit 4, this is we have studied last week we have studied the first part, and then we continue with the second part. The second part of the man and environment is about how do man activities affect the environment and natural resources. So for the second part of unit 4, we will study about the man activities and the effect of the environment. Okay. So we will start it now. Before we begin the lesson, let's say Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Students, do you still remember that last week teacher explained about man and environment part 1? We talked about there are two natural resources. Some of natural resources are renewable, another natural resources are non-renewable. You still remember that non-renewable resources, they need million years to produce, so we have to conserve. All the resources are useful. We need all the resources to do our activity in our daily life. We need the resource, so we have to conserve it. So we have to know what are the activities that affect the resource. Because we need the resource, we have to conserve it. So we have to know what are the activities that can affect our environment, that can affect the research. And then we have to know how to care our research, how to care the environment. We have to know that. Okay, first here we have to know the main activities that affect the environment. Okay. The first activity is deforestation, and then the second pollution. So today, teacher explained to you about two activities of the man that affect the environment. The first is deforestation, and then the second pollution. Let's start from the first activity. You can see the picture. This is called deforestation. In bahasa penebangan hutannya, deforestation. What is deforestation? The definition, you can see this. Deforestation is the clearing of a large area in forest by cutting down or burning the trees. So the clearing of large area in forest by cutting down or burning the trees. This is called deforestation. So clear the forest, menebang hutannya by cutting down or burning the forest. What are the effects if we do deforestation? The first, of course, living things that live there will lose their habitat. Living things that live there will lose their habitat. Of course, not only lost their habitat, they also lost their source of food. The living things that live in the forest not only lost their habitat, but also they will lose all of their source of food. The source of food, ya, sumber makanannya juga hilang. And then the second, the effect of deforestation, because the plants are cut down karena dipotong plantsnya. So of course there is nothing that hold the soil together. There is no roots that hold the soil. So if there is water, the soil can be brought by the water, can be washed by the water. So we call this is soil erosion. The soil erosion happen because there is no trees that will hold the soil together. Is it the effects of deforestation? So the first, the living thing will lose their habitat, and then the soil erosion, or in bahasa penipisan tanah. And then the next activity is pollution. In bahasa polusi, pollution occurs when the pollutant released into the air, the water, and also the land. So the pollution occurs terjadi when pollutant is substance that can cause pollution. When pollutant released into the air, we call this is air pollution, polusi udara. When the pollutant released into the water, we call this is water pollution. And then when the pollutant released to the land, we call this is soil pollution, polusi tanah. Okay, main activities which cause pollution. You can see this. Some main activities which cause pollution. Of course, the first littering. Throw rubbish, scatters. Littering, ya, buang sampah sembarangan. This is can make pollution. And the first, of course, this is about soil pollution. Littering can cause soil pollution. And then dumping of waste into water bodies. So dump the waste into water bodies, water pollution. This is that can cause the pollution. The main activities that can cause the pollution: littering, and then dump waste into the water bodies. It can cause water pollution. And then the third, burning fossil fuels. Burning fossil fuels. It means use the fossil fuels that are non-renewable resource excessively. So it can cause air pollution. Okay, now we have to study how can we conserve our environment. What can we do? What is our action to protect and care for the environment? First here, of course, this is the simple ways. Dispose of waste properly. Buang sampah pada tempatnya. You can see this. If you found the trash like this, the rubbish bin like this, so it's so very good, yeah. You can separate where is the place for paper, where is the place for bio organic rubbish, and then where is the place for plastic. So this is easy to be recycled, mudah didaur ulang. And then the second way how to care for the environment, reduce the use of fossil fuels. Gunakan fossil fuels dengan sedikit, jadi mengurangi penggunaan fossil fuel, kurangi penggunaan oil, coal, and natural gas. What are the action, teacher? This is so simple. By cycling. If you cycle, kalau bersepeda, of course it means you reduce the use of gasoline, mengurangi penggunaan bensin. If you use motor vehicle. And then the third way, what can we do to protect our environment? Produce less waste. It means we reduce the waste. Kita mengurangi sampah. How, teacher? How to reduce the waste? Of course, one of the way we choose the product. We use the product that can be used more than one time. That can be used again. It means you can reduce the waste. For example, we don't use tissue, but we use handkerchief to change the tissue. So it means we reduce the waste of tissue, mengurangi limbah tisu, ya. And then we can use the bottle that can be used more than one time. Kita menggunakan botol yang bisa digunakan lebih dari satu kali. So it means we produce less waste. And then the third, reuse and recycle material. Mendaur ulang material and then reuse, that teacher explained just now. By reusing, of course, we will produce less waste. And then recycle, mendaur ulang material. And then the third, the sixth, yang keenam, repair produk where possible. Jadi kita perbaiki produk itu ketika memungkinkan. Don't throw it. Try to repair. After that, if it can be repaired, we use again. Kita bisa gunakan lagi. Okay, my student, that's all the explanations about the man and environment part 2. Teacher have explained to you about the man activities that can affect the environment. There are pollutions and also deforestation. And then I also have explained to you about how to care for the environment. There are 6 ways that we have discussed just now. 6 ways to care, to protect for the environment. And then what should I do, teacher? Now you can open your book, page 52. Please do your task. After that, look at the sign here. Okay, teacher sign it. What is this? Recycle. Okay, after you finish with your task, you have to do recycle. We have to do something to protect and to care. We have to do something to protect and care for the environment. You have to show the teacher that you also care for the environment by recycling. The first, you have to know what is the definitions of recycling. Recycling is the process of converting waste material into new material and object. So there are 2 keywords, ada 2 kata kunci di sini. waste material change into new material that useful. Recycling, it means the process convert waste material. Of course, waste material is not useful, and then you change into new material that useful. This is called recycling. Itu yang namanya daur ulang. So you change waste into useful new material. We call this is recycle. Okay. How, teacher? Bagaimana tugasku, teacher? Your task, look at the example. First you have to find the rubbish. Kalian cari dulu rubbish-nya, sampahnya. For example, this is only the example. You can find other rubbish. Plastic bottle. I choose plastic bottle, and then the product I want to make it into pencil case. So the example here, teacher use the rubbish from the plastic bottle, and then I want to recycle the plastic bottle into the pencil case. And after that, after you finish to recycle the product, you have to take your picture, and after that you have to upload your picture into the Google form. So I will give you the Google form after this, and then you have to upload your picture holding the new product, holding the recycled product. This is the examples of some students last year. This is other examples of the recycled product. So the first, you have to write what rubbish that you use. After that, what product that you make, and after that, take your picture holding your recycled product, and after that, upload it into Google Form and send to teacher. Okay? Understand, my students? Okay, this is your task. So after you do your task in your book, you have to show to teacher that you also care for the environment by recycling the rubbish. Okay? Okay, thank you, my student, for your attention. We have finished to study about man and environment, the second part of man and environment. After you send me your picture, I will make the special video for you. So you have to make the best recycled product. You have to show the teacher that you really care for your environment. Okay, that's all for today. We have finished with the topic of man environment part 2. We have to say hamdalah together. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.